I'm Rob Jacobs, and I'm here to share with you some important topics regarding the significance of grooming. The most basic thing grooming is essential for is to clean your horse, but actually grooming gives you a great opportunity to evaluate your horse very closely. You can look at their limbs, starting from the ground up, all the way up through the horse's wither, and so forth. So you're cleaning them, but you're also getting your eyes and your hands on them. Grooming is also beneficial for establishing a baseline for how your horse feels mentally, emotionally, physically. So that's very, very important. It's always beneficial when working with your horse to have a way to secure them safely and properly. That may be in the form of the traditional cross ties, or that may also be using a quick release knot if you're working with them in their stalls. And the primary reason for that is just to keep you safe and your horses safe as well as you work with them. I usually start from the ground up. When I groom the horse, I always look at their feet first with my hoof pick and really clean out the hooves, the sole part of the hoof, on the corners of the frogs as well. This gives you an opportunity to assess their shoes. The shoe can just become looser than normal. So not only are you cleaning out their hooves properly to prevent anything such as thrush in their feet, but you're also getting a daily read on how well their shoes are maintaining. Then I may switch over to my prairie comb, which is a little firm, but not too sharp on the horse. And I may start at their shoulder, work around their necks, the hind quarter as well. Horses are usually really good about telling you how much pressure they prefer and appreciate. You can read their ears, you can read their facial expression, and that'll really give you a good read on how much pressure they are enjoying, or maybe you want to switch over to a softer curry comb. The same thing applies for brushing, and I usually have 4 or 5 different types of brushes in my kit. For me, I always use the softest brush I have on the horse's face, and then maybe a medium brush on their legs, and same thing over their backs and their loins, just depending on the horse, also depending on the time of the year. If it's a wet winter and a muddy climate, then maybe I can use something a little bit stiffer if my horse tolerates that. One thing I am aware of is to only use a tail brush or a tail comb on the horse's tail. And typically what I do with their tails is I always hand pick them first. And then I'm likely to use a little bit of detangler on their tails before I use the tail comb. And then the first step I do is to start from the bottom of the tail, slowly but surely detangling the tail from the bottom, working my way up to the top. That is proven to be the safest way to ensure that you're not mistakenly pulling out some of the hair of the horse's tail. Depending on the climate where you may live, and also depending on your daily routine, there are a variety of products that you can apply to your horse's hooves, whether your intentions are to just condition the hooves, whether you are applying more of a sealant if you're in a wet climate. There's just a variety of things you can work with your farrier and your trainer and your barn manager to identify what may work best for you and your horse to ensure that you are caring for your horse's hooves properly. The next thing you may want to consider with your horses will be insect repellent and fly protocols. I always start slowly if I'm learning my horse for the first time. Some horses are can be a little startled from the spray bottle. So always spray slowly, one leg at a time. If you need to, you can put on a glove and spray your hand, or you can just spray your bare hand and rub the horse down if the horse may be a young horse or may be sensitive to having this sprayed directly on them. You can also take advantage of fly sheets. They make fly masks as well. And you can even purchase fly boots for the horse's legs. And those are, again, I take those on a horse-by-horse, case-by-case basis. Some of the benefits of using the fly repellent, the fly sprays, and the fly gear is to keep your horses comfortable. One thing, too, that I've learned when the horses are stomping a great deal due to the flies. I do notice that the horseshoes don't stay on as well. So having a good fly management system for you and your horse not only will keep the horses comfortable, but it also will prevent the horse from stomping all summer long. Maybe you'll get an extra week out of the duration of your horseshoes. A final takeaway may be just to remember that grooming goes beyond just cleaning your horses daily. Grooming allows you an opportunity to evaluate your horse and to really get a feel for how they look, how they feel. And it is a very, very essential part of typical horsemanship, general horsemanship practices.